Well, hey, and welcome, everybody. I am so excited to be here with you today. I'm here with my husband, Mike Amos, and today is August 12th, 2020, and this is your virtual Financial Team Prosperity Wednesday training. I'm really excited to see Mike's training. I've got a few things that I'm hoping are going to bring value. So let me go ahead and grab my presentation, and I'm very excited for Mike because I know he's been working really hard on it. Anyways, August 12th, 2020. I can't believe we're already so far into 2020. It's been kind of a crazy year. So what I wanted to talk about today was just a few things that, help me and I'm hoping are going to help you as well. So the first thing is going to be just a few things that I like to do on my cell phone on LinkedIn. And you can just see that conversations on LinkedIn, they don't have to be hard. They don't have to be complicated. You don't have to over-explain yourself. Like you could see the first one, Tom wanted to know, what do I do? We teach people how money works. Let me know if you want to have a quick intro call. So this guy says, how does money work? I need a bunch. So let's chat. Here's a link, right? I talked to him, and I've actually got a follow-up call with him today. So here's another one. These are my, things for connecting messages. I look forward to getting to know you. If you want to schedule a quick intro call, please let me know your availability. Here's somebody, oh, I forgot to block out his number. Sorry about that. Anyways, here's somebody I just talked to. You just never know where it's going to go. Most people are friendly. If people ask, why do you want to talk? Well, I like to get to know my LinkedIn contacts, see what people do. Tell me a little bit about you, and that's really what I want to do. So here's a few examples of people that I've gotten on the phone, and it doesn't have to be, hard. It's just a numbers game. Enough people will want to talk to you, and they want to know about what you're doing and how you could potentially help them. And we really don't know until we get them on the phone and talk with them. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is having activity and communicating on heavily trafficked posts. This was kind of a long post, so I just posted it side by side. This was just a real simple post from Gary Vee. You're just a human being. You're doing the best you can. This got almost 50,000 likes and expressions, and then it got 1,342 comments, of which mine was one of them. So I commented, Gary, thanks, and so I tagged him in it. So, he got an attention, everybody. All of these 1,300 people basically got an email with this, right? Says, thanks, such a great reminder. It's like my favorite Maya Angelou quote, do the best you can until you know better, then when you know better, do better. And I really believe that, right? Once the mind is stretched to new information, it can never contract back to not knowing. So on my comment, I got 32 likes and 6 replies, which I thought was a lot of activity, right? And then, of course, I went back and I answered all of the people. And then this happened. 2 random people just sent me connection requests. Hi, Alana, I saw your comment on LinkedIn on Gary Vee's post. Would love to connect. Alana, I saw a comment you made on Gary Vee that led me to your profile. I was impressed by your experience and background. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I hope you'll accept my invitation. So you could see that I'm not doing anything different. I'm thanking them and I'm trying to get them on the phone. So it doesn't really matter how you get in front of people, but if you have enough people to talk to, you're gonna have progress. You're gonna have activity. So my goal is to get 3 new people on the phone that I've never talked to before every single day. And I think yesterday I had 3. Today I have 4 intro calls, and then follow up. Talked to a guy this morning. I said, hey, I'm gonna send you some information, a few videos. If I don't hear from you tomorrow, I'm going to follow up with you Friday at this time. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. He goes on my calendar Friday at the same time. So that's the way that I do it. Everybody's got their own different follow-up routines that they do, but that's a big part of it is, yeah, people want to talk to you, but you also want to make sure that you get them scheduled and get in front of them and actually get them on the phone. A few updates for our financial professionals. Really important. Not everybody does this or wants to do this. Again, it's for the financial professionals. Right now, this is a great time for a policy review. Everybody's worried about their money. Everybody's worried about, their coverage. This is a great time to touch with your clients. We've had a lot of new talk about the new Transamerica Everest Funeral Concierge Rider. If your client has an IUL with Transamerica over $250,000, $250,000 or more, this can be added for free. It's still excluded in a lot of the states, so just kind of keep mind of that. There's a ton of trainings about this going on. I'm sure you're getting a lot of emails from WFG about ongoing trainings about this. If you want to know more, there's a lot of information. Also, last week, Julie Stewart spoke, and she did a great annuity training. Now, because she is securities licensed, we can't just put it out there. It's got to be, by request only. If you want that recording, let us know. Mike can get that over to you along with the slides that she showed. And then, of course, everybody that is licensed and appointed has to carry the new Marsh E&O. Right when you log in, it says, don't forget to sign up. So should be right there when you log into my WFG, whether you've signed up or not. Should be pretty easy. It's just a quick 5-step process. If you need help with this, get in touch with me or your upline SMD. We want to make sure that no business falls through the cracks and everything's running smoothly. So we're really, really just in a great spot. We do have a virtual convention coming up September 12th. I don't know if this flyer really explains everything. All these people in these pictures are actually not Virtual Financial. These are the guest speakers that will be there on top of all the leaders at Virtual Financial that will be speaking. Mike, Chris, me and my husband, Mike. I'm sure there'll be a few others that will be speaking on top of these guest speakers, but it should be a big event. Saturday, September 12th at the regular time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm sure we'll be getting a lot more information about that from Mike and Chris, and through their weekly emails as well. So action, right? There's a lot of exciting things happening. Action, right? That's the deciding factor between the mediocre entrepreneurs and the heroes that we talk about. So I implore you, take action, right? There's no such thing as ready. Nobody's ever ready for anything. There's only now, right? This is the moment that you have. So take advantage of it. This is a great time to build something really, really special. Lean on us. Let us help you. And that's pretty much what I have. Let me go ahead and grab Mike. Thank you all so much. Let us know how we can help you.
Okay, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Just want to get right into some things that will hopefully help you build your business. So it is August, coming up on the sweet spot of the year. So what you have to understand is if you do the necessary actions on the front end, we will help you on the back end. Without the necessary actions on the front end, there's absolutely nothing that we can do to help you on the back end. So understand, it starts with you, finishes with us. Hopefully we'll build it, make you money. You can absorb those other roles at a later time. So put yourself in a good position during this time to have an immediate impact on your business as well as springboard you into 2021. Alana did mention that Julie was with us last week. If you guys want the recording, remember there's certain things that are going to be happening this decade. There's a lot that happens this decade in terms of financial conditions and financial events that put us in the forefront in terms of some of the protections as well as some of the guarantees that we offer. So certainty in an uncertain time and creating a stable growth environment is some of the core of what we do in the accumulation side. It's not about trying to predict the market. It's not about arguing about the market. Simple questions, yes or no. Mr. or Mrs. Potential Client, do you trust Wall Street? Do you trust the stock market today? If you do, and you want to let it ride, fine. That's the best plan for you, and I'll move on. But if you don't have to just sit there. There's hedges, there's vehicles, there's strategies, there's concepts that can provide you with protections and guarantees. So understand, simple questions get a conversation open, and then you take it from there. We just finished up week 9. Coming into the last few weeks, the only thing we're concentrating on is fixing whatever issues we've got right now, alleviating the blockages, and finishing strong to get us into the fall and then into the year end and 2021. Remember, we made a not a slight change. We did make a change to the reporting of the activity sheet. How we keep track of our activity in this business, still the same. All this is like a tally sheet. You can keep track, And then at the end of the week, I've got an Excel spreadsheet that looks exactly like this. It's got two columns. First column is the category. Second column is blank. You just put your numbers in, highlight all the way down the bottom, sum that for the weekly totals. And in the Facebook group every Sunday, we start a post, and you'll see it. It's called Activity Weekly Update Report. And all you've got to do is just go to the comment section, post your activity, any comments about the week, and be open, kind of like a diary. Hey, this week sucked. This week was good. I'm struggling with this, because what we hope to do is get interaction, not just from like Alana and myself, but other partners, as well as having other partners see things they might be struggling with early on, but they're not willing to raise their hand yet, and they can get the answer to their question. One of the things that I try to do in each of the Wednesday meetings to give you guys some ammunition so that when you take it out there, you're building constantly. And then one day you're going to have all this ammunition, all this language and verbiage where you feel confident going into every conversation. So when you're out there talking in the insurance or financial services industry and people ask how you get your leads, well, we teach you through a number of marketing strategies and a marketing system to create your own leads, and we have paid systems. There's a lot of different things that we do. But the normal course of action when somebody says, well, my company offers me free leads, everything has a price, especially in this industry. So understand a free lead system, whether it's an Excel spreadsheet of just old data or no matter what it is, it's going to cost the agent something, because we want to find out what's your renewals, what do you get residual. Most of the time it's zero. So there is a price manufactured into quote-unquote a free lead. So let's take a look at this. No renewals is a price. So if there's an initial sale between any company and the agent, there's a split. Company takes some, agent takes some. That's normal. Now, if the renewals go 100% to the company and not to the agent or the partner, let's keep it very low and very simple. $100 a month insurance sale at a 3% renewal income rate after that year of advance, which we get 10 years, equals $36 a year in renewal income. Over the potential payout period of 10 years, that's $360. So was that lead free? No, it wasn't. And then if you look at this a step further and understand, because remember, we teach people how money works. So when we look at this in another situation, what's that residual income worth to the partner, to the agent, or to the company that's keeping it? Well, at a 5% rate of return, which is kind of hefty in this environment, but nevertheless, this is just for example purposes only, $100 in monthly renewal or residual income equal to having $24,000 in the bank. So understand that $100 itself, $50 itself, $60 here or there, doesn't register in our head to be enough or a lot. But if you keep going out there and you keep stacking this stuff up, then it does have meaning to you. You can see as you go down the line, this is significant amounts of cash that you would have to have in an investment account earning 5% to get this type of monthly residual income. So everything that we do here is built on ownership, is built on keeping people in. If you build a business around never giving your partners any renewals, never giving your agents any renewals, then you're going to have a factory where you're treating people as a foot soldier. They come in for a period of time, they work, they leave, you keep the residuals. That's not a mutually beneficial relationship. That's a parasitic relationship. And so we're trying to establish ownership and put our partners in the greatest type of financial position. So understand that when you're talking to people, a lot of them have no idea what they're talking about. You need to understand and gain confidence in what you have here and understand the reasons why and be able to articulate that, once again, in a kindergarten, elementary way they can understand. So in our business, why are you not making money online? And this is just a general question. So if it's you, your partners, anybody who's not making money online in this model, we got to take a look and identify, first of all, you're in a good position kind of as a macroeconomic event speaking, because technology leads the way. It continues to lead the way. So you're in a good position. Remember, technology creates innovation that unlocks new market value. That goes to you. So if we're not making money, it's most likely what I've seen over the past few years, it's our partners just don't have a clue what they should be doing. Now, we have a system. We have a duplicatable process, but most of the time, people just go out there and wing it, and they expect things to come together. Nothing's going to come together unless you actually make it come together. So let's take a look at how we do that. The strategy that we have coming in is usually grand. Hey, I'm going to build this business. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this many offices. I'm going to make this much money. I'm going to have an exit plan at this date in the future. Everything's set up for you. The problem is when you actually get into the execution of your business model, it flatlines down here. There's little to no execution, and what happens is the gap between the strategy and the execution is where the money is. So you've got to have a business plan that you execute on a daily basis. And in our business plan, the first part of the execution is the tier 1 contact and confirm. That's just opening conversations. Remember, you can never have the back end results if you don't open any conversations. So this is where the money's at. Once you get this a little bit closer together, then the amount of leakage and the amount of money that you're missing starts to dwindle and dissipate. The things that you need for this business and this model on a daily basis, number one is organization. And that's just coming in with a list of things that you need to do, understanding what needs to be done in the day, and getting that accomplished. That starts with organization. If you have poor organization, which I do, I'm a big picture kind of person. I struggle with the small stuff. That's something that you have to take self-reflection, self-inventory, and realize, hey, this is a weak spot for me. I need to identify this, and I need to make sure that I don't allow this to be part of the reason why this business doesn't come together for me. So organize yourself on a daily basis. You've got to go in every single day knowing what you're supposed to do, or you've already lost the day. Number two, time management. Has a little bit to do with organization, but remember, there's certain things that you can do at night. There's certain things that you can do in the morning, and there's certain things that you can do during the afternoon. The afternoon activities is the core group or the nucleus group of activities that you understand that have to be done during that day. It's the calling, the follow-up. You know, if you're posting stuff, if you're following up on some other stuff online, that can be done in the off hours. Understand how to organize your day, what needs to be done, and at the very top is going to be that most uncomfortable stuff that you want to do, making the calls, follow up. So when you get into those uncomfortable activities, your bank account gets rewarded for that. Number three is the actual activity. So you've got organization, you've got your time management set up, you've got block times of what you need to do. Now it's just the point of actually going out and doing it. And this is sometimes the blockage for people. You know, preparing and preparation and planning, if you do that continuously, it's nothing more than a form of procrastination. So getting down to that action point, which we all get annoyed from the client or the partner side because it takes them so long to get there sometimes. Same thing with you. If you're dragging this step, you are dragging your business model, and you don't want to drag your business model. You want your business model to take off with velocity. You can't provide the activity on the front side. You're never going to have those offices that are independent of you because you haven't done anything on the front side to initiate that. And then finally is accountability. You know, no one, if it's sports, business, personal, whatever it might be, if you have goals and you have the activity, the accountability is what kind of glues it together, brings it together, makes it stick. So understand, if you are having the activity, you're being organized, you're effectively managing your time, you should understand what you're getting out of that. If you're not getting anything, there's a problem, and we need to identify that. If you're getting no return on investment on your time that you put into this business, we need to understand why and fix that. That comes from accountability, letting us know what you're actually doing. And then all of that streamlines down into, you saw Alana's conversations. Some of you guys' conversations and your messages are way too long, too much information, too pitchy. We do two things. Teach people how money works, and for the people that are looking to make that bridge, we have an E to E program, which is the employed entrepreneur. That's it. Do you know how money works? No, let's talk. So these are the type of things that you guys need to understand. When you get a long email, when you get a long LinkedIn message, do you read the whole thing? I don't. I check out about 2 lines into it probably. So if that's me, then I have to understand that's probably everybody else. You got to shore up your communication, get right down to the point, and highlight the action step. The action step, what she showed you earlier, was getting on the phone. And if you do that enough times with an intro, with a help message, whatever it is, then the last part is mastering that phone call, the presentation, the continuing, the directing of that conversation. From that point, once you're able to do that on a continuous basis, you're going to have growth in your business, and you're going to have the scalability factor. It all just comes back to everything. at the top of this circle. This is the only thing that you or I or the upline cannot do for a partner. We cannot make the initial communication and conversation. That has to be manufactured by the partner, and it's very, very easy, and you've got different ways you can do it that we're going to go through, but if you're opening the conversation and you're sending video information and you're following up to see if those videos are watched and what type of interest there is, if you get good at that, like having a small part in a movie, we'll take care of the rest. But you have to be good at this part up here because nothing's going to come out the backside. Nothing's coming in through the top. So let's talk about the different ways that you can open a conversation. 6 building blocks, 7 money milestones. You can open it from cash flow, debt management. I would never recommend opening a conversation about our emergency fund. It just doesn't do anything for people. But cash flow, debt management, protection, accumulation, and then estate preservation are all building blocks and money milestones that you can open a conversation with. What are you comfortable with? What's going to get you the conversations? What's going to get you the results? You want to roll with that. Same thing here. 7 money milestones. The only difference is the additional money milestone, the first one, is financial education. That starts with the book. That is an additional way to open a conversation. But no matter what you're doing, you have to understand your game plan, your strategy for opening a conversation in that building block. So the first one we want to talk about is cash flow. Well, if I'm opening a conversation about cash flow, it's most likely going to be about a business opportunity. And the reason that we do that and the reason that virtual financials model is built around opening conversations based on a business opportunity is because we know that when you're talking about putting money in somebody's pocket versus potentially taking money out of somebody's pocket, they're more likely to be interested in the income coming through coming into the pocket. So the videos are going to get more views, which means that you're going to have more follow-up attempts and conversations, which means that you're going to have more outcomes. So leading with the cash flow or leading with the income possibility is a way to get more assets on the videos. Now, when you're using this, you have to understand that you created a lead. You created a conversation. So you want to extract the most value you can. So if you're leading with the cash flow building block or money milestone with a business opportunity, the videos are watched. You need to understand how to pivot. Pivot, don't pause. When you pause and take time, now there are certain times that you should be quiet. When you're asking a pain question, force them to talk. But when you're just in the conversation, you know that for one or more variable reasons, this is not a business opportunity conversation that's going to continue. If the reason is such that you can pivot to the client, don't pause. Just pivot right over to client services and see what happens. Now, if the reason is such that it doesn't make a good client pivot, you don't want to pivot. But the pivot should be natural. It should be instinctive. It shouldn't be something that you have to remember. It should be part of your language and script. So if it doesn't fit, but it fits the client pivot, go ahead and do that because you'll get no's, you'll get yeses, and out of those yeses, you might get some product sales, some referrals. So remember, don't just stop. You created the lead all the way down to the bottom, try to extract value down to that last question, about do you pay out-of-pocket for term life insurance? If you're going to come in from the debt block or debt money milestone, this is okay. And, some of you guys are using a tool to do that. Remember, what we understand psychologically is people can run from their insurable need. Now, that has catastrophic consequences in some cases. People can run from their retirement only to a certain point. Obviously, there's hefty prices and penalties to pay for that approach. They cannot run from debt. And if debt's the reason that's holding them back from investing, accumulating, if you can resolve that on the front end, then what that allows you to do is get them into the rest of the blocks: protection, accumulation, estate preservation, all the other things under the How Money Works umbrella that we do, we can get to. So it doesn't matter how the conversation is open. It doesn't matter how they get in your virtual front doors. Once they're in, they're in. You've got a lot of client services here. So be strategic. Once again, being able to talk to more people is really getting eyes on the assets and then follow up. Like we just talked about, once they're in, they're in. This is a model where it doesn't matter where they come from or how they get in. You've got several different ways that you can assist them and assist them in a way that has a huge impact on their finances now and in the future. So multiple ways to get them in, and once in, multiple ways to offer client services. Another of the building block is protection. Now, what we find is that inviters, especially those newly licensed, they struggle with this conversation because the insurance conversation can be tough for the other side and can be tough for the new inviter. But if you are in this section, it's really about, and we always talk about this, not the risk of something happening. No one says, oh, in 10 years, I'm probably going to have a heart attack, but it's about the consequence. If that does happen, what does tomorrow look like for the family? What does it look like for your bank? What does it look like for your mortgage? It's a hedge, and it goes two ways. Number one, if you have zero assets, it's a hedge that you're going to be able to keep that standard of living for a period of time, stay afloat for a period of time, and possibly not have to go into bankruptcy, foreclosure, and all the stress that goes along with that. Now, on the opposite side, if you have assets, it's also a hedge. So you're not going to have to go in there and prematurely attack those assets if something happens. So rich, poor, in between, living benefits, the term product, the protection that we offer is needed across the board. And then, the wealth accumulation block is another one where inviters can struggle with. And that's understandable because the language and verbiage is not there like the financial professional. So you want to keep things short and you want to drive things to the financial professional. But, simple questions. Do you have enough money to retire? 98+% of the people you talk to, if they answer that honestly, they say no. So would you like to know how to get the rest of the money for your retirement? That's as simple as going in and talking to a consultant. So, if somebody doesn't have enough money for retirement and we're offering free consultations where they can learn how to get that and they don't want that, my question is, why not? I mean, if you don't have the money for retirement and you're not on the plan to get you there, why would you not want to educate yourself, put you in a better position at least mentally to understand how to get there? So people want to ignore all of this. And our job is to kind of hockey check them mentally and make sure, hey, you can continue down this same path. But ultimately, like we've talked about in the last few weeks, what does that alternate path look like? If you continue to ignore the situation 10, 15, 20 years down the road, what does it look like? Our financial professionals should be working in a way that puts the retirement picture together. Remember, if the pension is gone, and those are for the most part history, some of the things that we can do is recreate that guaranteed income. Whatever they have in savings and assets, Social Security for certain ages, who knows what's going to be there, and whatever they got here. When you sell a product, it's just that. You're offering a product, rebuttaling, closing them. When you're putting the pieces of a puzzle together, you're offering them a solution. Solutions stay on the books for long periods of time, and they open up a lot of referral business for you. And then one of the last building blocks is the wealth preservation estate planning. Now, to be honest, I don't lead my business with this. You do have a website for this. Somebody asked me how to lead the conversation the other day. I had to be honest with them. I don't lead the conversation here, probably a deficiency in my own business model, but it is a way that you can get in front of people and open a conversation. And it all just comes back to that tier 1 contact and confirm, and that's going to do everything you need. No matter what building block that you're coming from, it's going to provide awareness. It's going to provide some interest from a percentage, and it's going to create a decision and action step. The foundation of your business, it's how you build your business, and it leads to the videos. The reason this is important, 3 main reasons. Number 1, it serves as an introduction to what you're doing on the client or partner side. Number 2, it saves us from ourselves. Remember, it's repetitive. It's the same video every single time, the same words exactly. We're not able to do that. We get tongue-tied, we get overexcited, or we get flustered, and it comes out in the language. The videos save you from that and also saves you a lot of time. Somebody's watching 20, 30 minutes worth of videos. That's 20, 30 minutes I'm not spending with them explaining everything, and it makes my model more efficient. And then finally, it's a great leading indicator for business growth. If you've got videos going out, well, guess what? That means you've got follow-ups, which means you've got outcomes. You need to understand that in the beginning, you're going to be so excited about a lead. And after a while, lead means nothing to you. You need to create them, but you're starting to sift the people. The people that I follow up with and I chase for multiple follow-ups is the people that I honestly think that I can put into my business model, help succeed, which is going to help me get to the point I want to get to. If I don't think they fit in for one or more variable reasons, I'm not going to chase them. The other day, I had somebody inquire, called up, voicemail, their voicemail was complete garbage. I mean, they're not serious about life. I just dumped the lead. So you're going to have to make the decision of your persona, who you want to work with, and if there's talent out there, somebody that you think can form a mutually beneficial relationship, not going to be 1 or 2 follow-ups maybe. It's going to have to be 5, 6 positive interactions to create that relationship where you guys are honest and open enough to the point that you get a commitment from both sides. So understand, if you make a follow-up with somebody and they're not there on the first follow-up, does not mean that they're not interested, they don't want to talk to you. It can mean a lot of things. But the people that you are interested in, you need to follow up. We put a survey on the Facebook group, a few weeks ago, but I want you guys to understand that when you're looking at your model, you need to have multiple streams of leads coming in. That comes from developing multiple marketing legs. I get a little concerned or confused when I talk to somebody and they say, well, I'm just using LinkedIn, and I go to their LinkedIn profile, and really all they're doing is sending messages. They're posting maybe once or twice a week. There's no engagement there. If you're using LinkedIn as the only thing to create leads, you need to be a black belt in LinkedIn. You need to be a master in LinkedIn. You need to put the time, energy, effort, and resources into becoming a good marketer on LinkedIn. So you can go LinkedIn organic, Facebook organic. You can open up email marketing campaigns. You can use Instagram. You can use the How Money Works book. You can use text messaging. Be compliant here. Cold calls, Facebook paid ads. You can use Twitter, classified or job postings. Self-employed and small business interaction. This is where I find I work best with clientele. The system, tier 4 and 6, if you're using our system, this should be creating warm market leads, people to talk to, online funnels. If you're doing a good job, referral webs, lead vendor outside relationships, LinkedIn paid ads, general networking programs or platforms. This has showed up 2 times, LinkedIn paid ads. Some of this stuff showed up a couple extra times. Webinars, including WealthWave 360 Masterclass. You have a complete webinar back there, Masterclass Part 1 and 2 with notes. All you've got to do is just set people up to go to it, educate them about how money works, and convert those. And finally, surveys. You really need 4 to 6 marketing legs. And that's not going to happen overnight, but you need to develop that and have a plan of action, have a business model that foresees you starting to add this stuff as you go forward. 5 websites. You look good online. You've got social media messages, email campaigns. You've got everything in that WealthWave 360 as well as these 5 sites. WealthWave, Force for Disruption. You've got the How Money Works, the E2E, Employee to Entrepreneur, our platform site, and you've got the Legacy Shield or the Estate Preservation right here. 5 websites make you look really good online. And you've also got other digital tools that can help you. These are tools. I use GMass, Lightshot, and MailTrack every single day for my business. I use Snipply probably a couple times a week. These are the addresses or the URLs associated with them. If you want to do marketing campaigns, emails, Snipply is a way to take articles that you find and share online, and some of those can be snipped, which means you can put a banner advertisement inside that article. Lightshot right here is a screen capture tool that I use, and then MailTrack, so I know, especially on partners and clients, when it's going out there, that initial information, I know who's opening it. And that's great for time management. Somebody opens an email with a 20-minute video, and I got time, I'll try to call them back in a half hour to see if they completed it. Another tool I use is Helper. And Helper is an easy way. I tried to do the message sequence in LinkedIn manually the last 12-week year at the end of the year, going into the first of the year. It's very, very tough. It's time-consuming, and it's almost impossible for somebody like me who struggles with organization to get that done. So this alleviates that in a 3-step process. You're collecting and inviting people into your network. Those that accept that connection request, you've got an intro message out. It's called Recently Added Connections message. And then step 3 is a revolving door of messages that go through. This is what it looks like. Collect, select, and invite, messages to recently added connections, messages to first connections, as well as group members. So once again, if you're in LinkedIn trying to create lead generation, you should be implementing some of these tools that can help you. Also, the book itself. Yes, we'll mail books out, we'll give people books, and that's great, but the book itself is its own thing. It's got a website, podcast, videos, email. It's got everything. So this in itself could be one of your marketing legs if you're willing to take the time to develop it. And then when you develop this marketing, when you have your tier 1 contact, your tier 1 confirm, you've got your marketing legs in place, don't be the person that's good at lead creation and never follows up. Because if you're good at lead creation, you have a skill that a lot of people want, but guess what? The lack of follow-up is going to destroy your business, and you're going to drift and you're going to quit. So you need to have a communication schedule. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, when do I stop following up with somebody? Well, I have a defined endpoint. I have a communication schedule where at a certain email, a certain text, a certain phone attempt, I'm done. Good, bad, or ugly, I'm done with that lead. So you should have an endpoint, and that should include phone contacts, emails, texts, social media messages when appropriate, trying to get in front of people, and you're trying to also be interesting and engaging. WealthWave will help you with that. They have the system designed to give you the initial engagement, a little deeper overview and engagement, and then personalized engagement. That helps. And then if you are not following up, this is not a debate. This is not a question. If you're not following up, you are leaving business growth on the table, which means you are leaving money on the table for other people in this industry to pick up or just to be left out, in the wind, so to speak. How do you see your purpose? This is another thing that you want to understand. When you're coming into this business model, what do you see yourself as? If it's just like an insurance agent, you got the wrong idea of what you are. If this was about being an insurance agent, 0% chance I would be here. So how do you see your purpose in the marketplace? And when you start to look at what you do, well, how can you make the biggest impact? I think you're here with a model, with technology, with a mission, and with partnerships that you can make a big impact on a big problem. You have the resources, you have the tools to create a life that you want and desire for you as well as your clients. Remember, our business is about control. And then finally, get motivated. You got to get excited about the mission. Yes, the money is incredible. The ownership's incredible. Everything that you have in place for the selfish reasons for wanting to do this business are incredible. But the motivation comes from serving people, fixing problems. And quite frankly, if that's the mentality that you start to adopt, money will come. The rich get rich from solving problems. Ultimately, you're looking for dedicated distribution partners. And be honest. Tell people what you're looking for. It's a lot easier to find that when you know it and you speak up in the marketplace and ask for it. You're looking for builders. You're looking for dedicated distribution partners, people that can come in under your training, support, coaching, mentorship for a period of time that can go out and do this on their own. We're not here to build a book of business. We're here to build a distribution business. Starts with you. And that's going to take a little bit of time to get the traction that you're looking for. But just know that when you get the traction, things start to build and you're bringing in the right people. That's an important factor. Things will start to develop for you. Nobody starts at the top. And we used this slide a number of weeks ago, but minor leaguers, they make no money, $12.50 a month, in hopes they're going to make the major leagues and reach that peak income for a period of time. However many years it is, try to cash in. Now, does everybody in the minor leagues make the major leagues? Of course not. But is everybody in the minor league have at least some small percentage shot at making the majors? Yes. If not, they wouldn't be there. So when you're developing your minor leagues, your farm system, you got to understand, does somebody have an actual chance to make it in this business? If not, then they shouldn't be in the farm system. They shouldn't be in the minor league. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them. So understand who you're looking for. And understand it's going to take some time, and they have to be committed to the growth and development of the business. You're not going to start out over here. You have to have, it's a process. And that goes back to our persona. You guys need to develop a persona that you want to work with and identify those people in the marketplace with messages that have them raise their hand and actually want to talk to you. Your persona will have some of the same things as mine, some different, but everybody's is different. I'll give you an example. If we're watching a movie and somebody has a very, very deep British accent, a lot of tells me they might as well be speaking a foreign language. She doesn't understand. So, understand who you need to work with, why, identify those people, and start talking to them to form mutually beneficial relationships. And you have to make a commitment to yourself. It starts with you, right? So 3 partners, 3 clients on a monthly basis is really what we look for as a metric to get this going. Comes back to the circle. All of your deficiencies, all of your inadequacies, all of the things that you can normally mess up on in a business, building it. If you adhere to the system and follow this, it will alleviate and preemptively take care of a lot of those things by just dialing into the system. Remember, the innovation from our model comes on the agency building side. So that brings new market value and a lot of things to the company, and it brings a lot of good things financially to the partners. However, that disruption is also creating new value in terms of what it means to the partner. If it means they get to spend more time with their kids, they're not stressed out on the commute, they're not going to a place with a boss that they hate, that's value to them. Everybody's got different value, and everybody's got different reasons and motivations. Don't think that yours is just universal. Get to know people, understand their whys, and how you can help them get there. Create a customer experience that's hard to beat in the industry. I think in financial services, a lot of the customer experience is stale, it's outdated. Bring a little bit of a newness to it, technology, excitement. Remember, insurance, retirement planning, debt, all of these things, not very exciting to talk about, not impulsive things, not something that somebody jumps out of bed in the morning and thinks about. So you've got to, a lot of times, bring the excitement from your side and create that good customer or client experience. One of the things that we're doing is the financial literacy campaign. Get excited about it. Learn how to talk to people about it. People don't know how money works. We're teaching that. Should be able to open quite a number of conversations just based on that. Remember, people are not going to get behind you based on what you do or how you do it. They're going to get behind you and really buy into it on why you do it. You're going to create ripple effects. Now, if you have a large organization that's servicing a lot of clients and has a lot of partners, your ripple effect's going to be huge. But if you come in and you don't do anything, you're going to have a ripple effect. But it's only going to concern yourself, your immediate family, and your future. So understand from the very beginning, the activity is going to set forth, some type of futuristic event that's either going to have you there at the place you want to be or not. Get out of your comfort zone. And this is the hardest thing for the inviter to do in our assembly line, is because you think you have to know about all these products and services. You really don't. You have to follow a script. You have to make people realize there are alternate ways to get what they want. They just don't have to accept life coming down their way with no plan. So get out of the comfort zone, not only for yourself, but for your partners as well as your clients, and watch what happens. The one thing that we always have to keep in mind is I've had recently some people that were very, very interested, very excited. They got off the phone, nothing happened. They didn't go to the next action step. Doesn't mean that in the 2 or 3 minutes that they were supposed to do something that they lost interest. People space out. There's a shiny thing over here. There's a shiny thing over there. There's all types of information flowing to them at the speed of technology. If you leave it up to other people and just expect things are going to happen, nothing will happen. I guarantee that. Nothing. Nothing will happen, period. And that's an important thing. You've got to be aggressive. You're not pushing some type of a product or service that nobody wants and trying to just make somebody buy something. You're getting in front of people, solving a problem, offering a solution, and trying to create a better life for them. You got to be on the phone some too. If you hide behind the keyboard, you're going to attract the weak or attract nobody at all. Calling, not an optional skill. You either do it or you don't do it. But if you don't do it, it's going to cause what's called call reluctance. And, most resist, and that's what's going to create that feeling that that cell phone or whatever you're using weighs 500 pounds versus every day if you're making those calls, it's nothing. Part of your activity. It's a habit. So you need to form this as a habit because it has financial rewards on the backside for you. Design your future. Don't just accept it. That's what we're trying to do for our partners. That's what we're trying to do for ourselves. That's what we're trying to implement in the marketplace for our clients. Let's design a future that you actually want. Inside this company, we all start at the same place, which is an awesome concept. It's not who you know in this company. It's not what you've done in the past. It's where are you right now? And if you're a qualified partner, are you hungry? Are you motivated? Are you driven to make this happen? We're all starting at the same starting line. And remember, this is the future of the agency model. That's a big deal because, there's going to be some other things that pop up. Virtual's the key word right now, when a few years ago no one wanted to hear it from our industry. But you have the partnerships that go all the way up to the very top. So what you're going to build is not going to crumble. It's going to be around for decades to come. Put some work into this. This is what it looks like in your mind. This is what I'm going to create. I'm going to create this home office or base shop right here, and I'm going to train, support, coach, mentor people to the point they can go out and do this on their own. These offices, I'm talking to the uplines, I have a business relationship, probably a personal relationship, but the day-to-day activity in each one of these, not too concerned. I've got a manager overseeing that, and with the system and the model that we have, all of these offices should be doing the same thing. And then once it's all set into place, you're going to have just massive activity, coast to coast, nationwide, and in a trillion-dollar industry, we talk about a tidal wave of money. We're really just finishing up, I believe, the first wave. There's a lot more to come. The first wave was brutal, guys. If you weren't around for the entirety of the first wave, which there's only a very few people that were, it was a brutal process. Be glad you were not there. What we have right now is a well-oiled machine. You just need to put it to work, get behind it, accelerate it, and don't stop. This is what a lot of people think when you're all done, A to B, this is what your success looks like. Either you worked hard, it was a straight line, or more likely, hey, that person got lucky. They just fell into something. This is actually what it looks like. And most partners and anything, whether it be a personal goal, a business goal, they're going to quit. That first sign of trouble or hardship or lack of results, they're just going to give up. And you can see that if you stick with it, you're still getting to that end point, but don't expect a problem-free ride. So embrace the struggle, but break out. Yes, in the beginning, we want activity to be the leading indicator, and that actually continues to be the leading indicator. But if you've been in the business for a while and you're not making money, you need to identify why you're not making money, work with us, and let's alleviate it. There's nothing worse than putting X hours into the week and getting paid nothing, going into the next week. You want to build and get motivated on what you're doing that's producing results. You don't want to have to go into each week resetting and say, hey, I gave it my all, I worked hard, but I didn't make any money, because you're not going to be able to sustain that for a long period of time. No return on your investment means at some point you're going to quit. There are people making money. There are people on the WFG platform, on the WealthWave platform, on the virtual platform, all making money. So if you're not, let's identify why you're not, and let's take an alternate route to make sure that we correct those problems. Put money in your bank account, because if you're working, you deserve to get paid. All right, guys, that is it for today. If you guys have any questions, let us know. We are really, really excited about the rest of this year in 2021 and 2022. It's going to be a fun ride for us. Thanks.
Hey, Mike, I think that was a fantastic training. I actually took a page of notes, and I just had something that I wanted to add to what he was saying. And I need to go back through and review all of the different marketing legs and the different ways that people, can get leads. I do a lot of LinkedIn. And now just recently I've been doing a lot of Facebook, just following up with a warm market, just seeing how everybody's doing. And I know that we do a launch 20 in the very beginning when we're brand new. We really don't know what we're doing. So a warm market, we revisit our warm market all the time. Me and Mike right now are talking to his brothers again. So you just never know if you're excited about your business or the solutions that the business or the products are providing. Even if maybe you talked to somebody a year or two ago or a few months ago about it, things change. People are grounded because of COVID. And that's another reason why when you're looking for business partners, you want to find ones that have big networks, because warm market is something that we can keep revisiting. Even though we have these amazing virtual tools for social media and cold market, don't forget about the people that you love and care about and that trust you and that need solutions right now. So that's something that we do and we preach as well. So really, really great training. I hope you all got as much out of it as I did. There was 2 questions. Let me go ahead and grab those. It looks like a few people want the training from Julie, and we'll get that over. And David, I'll get you that sheet as well for the accountability. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and we can open up the floor for questions, comments, anything that you all need. Give me just 1 second to do that. Thank you so much.